Alright guys, Shotty T here with another Alliance War video. This is war number 4 of the season. You're gonna be in for a little bit of a thriller here. But I think we started off the season 1 and 2. We just won our last war. Just looking to gain some momentum. Again, it's a pretty evenly matched opponent. And of course they're running protect. The defense looks pretty straightforward, nothing out of the ordinary. I do have a Mangog in my path, and in this war, we're gonna actually start in path 6, and then we're gonna switch it up to path 5 as our usual path. So as far as our attack team, we're gonna be bringing back. We're gonna bring Magic, Warlock, and Claire. All right. So the very first fight here is going to be a Korg. This is going to be Strike Back, Aggression, Fury. So obviously this Korg is nowhere near as wild. That's the Korg that's usually on node 23. And I believe this guy does have pretty high sig, so it's going to be some shrugging off in that fight. But I just wanted to I want to just quickly show what I was fighting before I actually got into it. Wait for my energy to build up. All right, so now we're about to jump in because we're going to use a 6-hour boost because I believe this was a Wednesday night. Yeah, this was Wednesday night, and well, actually, no, this was Thursday night. So I was still out. Yeah, I pretty much go out almost every night of the week now. So because I obviously don't use this path as often, I wanted to make sure I had a invulnerability boost just in case like his SP1 happens to trick him with a bunch of Furies on him if the AI isn't cooperative. And then you kind of realize how not as difficult Korg is to fight on a non-Mixmaster node. Yeah, this fight ended up being pretty simple. Yeah. Just gonna bait this SB2. There we go. I think we're gonna throw our SB3. Well, maybe not. Yeah, we're trying to keep him from throwing this SP1 if possible. But I believe this SP3 should kill him. If it doesn't, then that'll be the dumbest mistake I've ever made. But then again, we do have an invulnerability boost if it didn't kill him. But I was pretty confident it was gonna kill him. All right. So anyway, next fight here, we have an Apocalypse. We're gonna keep this fight pretty simple. We did duel this profile beforehand. It does have willpower, so we're just gonna do our little infection parry with Warlock and then passively drain their power and just basically keep him from throwing his specials all fight. I believe he throws it once all fight, but it's gonna be this parry because it does have power alternator, so if the opponent has more power than me, they're gonna be in a position to actually steal it. So I now have to make sure that I go ahead and throw my SB2 before he steals it away from me. And I believe that's the only time I bait that special, is just to put those armor breaks and that elongated willpower healing infection on him. Yeah. And here we go. That's a pretty simple fight. Where it's all about the counters. All right, so now we got Domino. We're gonna use Warlock once again, and we still have that invulnerability boost active, so we're gonna just jump quickly in there. You never know against Domino, you may slip up trying to interrupt her medium attack. Every once in a while, I'll try to dash back, counter like her medium attack too quick, end up getting clipped by that second gunshot. But I guess that's always a possibility, I guess. So really the key about this fight, obviously the main thing is to watch out for backup recovery, really. And also the power snack, make sure that whenever she nullifies my armor up when it keeps popping back up, that she's not close to 3 bars of power. All right, so we make sure we guarantee ourselves to throw the hit with her SB2 in case she got lucky with that threshold. So the critical failure is like the main thing that's killing me at this point. She is a rank 3 Domino, by the way. So I'm pretty sure the critical failure damage is going to be a little bit higher. But the main thing is, other than the nose, just in general, when you're fighting Domino, when she's lucky, just pay attention. Keep your combos short. You don't want that evade. And you don't want to really hit into her block, because if she gets a perfect block while she's lucky, that power gain rate is, I believe, doubled, like almost like a half bar power. So you just got to be careful in that scenario. And then also sometimes if you stun her, she'll shrug that off sooner as well. I've learned that from experience, getting punished after parrying her. But here we go. Like I said, this fight was pretty textbook how you fight Domino with Warlock, or with anyone in general. All right, I probably could have thrown SB2 there, but we throw it there. All right, so there we go. All right, next here, we're gonna make sure we get guidance applied here. This is another high sig cord. And we're just gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna do our parry medium, light, medium. I think this fight, I do try to make a little bit more of a focus to completely dex out his SB1, but still not quite there yet. We'll get there. As long as it don't cost me a war fight, I mean, we're good. If it does cost me a war fight, then you'll probably see me start focusing on that just a little more. Yeah, that first dex was too late. And of course, makes those other 2 dexes hard to catch up when you're doing it. It's almost like a rhythm. Yeah, so we did it that time. I said, yeah, slowly but surely we're getting it back. And we back up. And the reason why I back up every time, because he's less likely to throw a special if I'm retreating. And especially and his SB1 is usually not one that he throws from a distance. So you're kind of forcing him to come at you. And that way I can just set up my parry. Yeah, he usually throws his SB1 if you're in sweep distance of him, or if he's in a corner. So that's the reason why I try to, whenever I can, just back up. Yeah, so that I was right in that ballpark range there. I wasn't ready for him to throw the SB1 there. That's why I didn't even bother to try to dex it, because the timing would not have been there. I dodged back too early there and got hit by all 3. So if you dodge back too early, you're gonna hit by all 3. If you dodge back too late, you may dodge the first one, but you may miss the second and or the third one will hit you. So, but like I said, as long as it ain't gonna kill me, we're good. And I got a healer. All right, so next fight we got Killmonger on Footloose. So we're gonna use a power start boost for this one. And Kabam so far is giving out these boosters a little bit more frequently as they should. I mean, because it costs loyalty, so it's not like they're free. There's no really other source to get them in the game. So just need to make them available. So, because I believe they did Power Start Boost today as I'm recording, finalizing this video. So I missed time punishing him to get my SP3 started. So now we're already in a bad situation. So now we just pray that this SP3 doesn't kill me. Luckily, when he punished me there, I was in limbo and I was able to recover all that health back. So when I said get ready for an adventure, I was really talking about this particular fight because Magic doesn't have the biggest health pool in the world. Obviously, it helped that I had the 30% boost active. So now we just got to make sure that we don't punish him when he has that. And I don't know how that's that SB2. I mean, that heavy in the corner. I don't think I've ever fully tested his heavy in the corner, but that one time we did it for that one fight, and that was the clutches. That was the most clutch heavy evade ever. After that, we get this fight much more under control, and we're done. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a nail biter there, stressful situation. Just a hair late on punishing him. I believe that Unstoppable was off of him, so I'm not sure why. But next fight, we got Mangog. I was debating whether I should use Magic or Claire for this one because I really haven't fought him in war. I know he passively gained power until he reaches 2 bars of power, and then the SP2 is the special you don't want to have come out, especially if it's unblockable. So you kind of have to manage a lot of stuff on him. His hatred charges. If you finish a full 5-hit combo, he gains hatred. I think every time he throws an SP1, he gains hatred. So we're just gonna try not to throw 5-hit combos unless we're finishing a combo before we start our special. So far we're doing pretty well. We got an intercept in there, so we hitting him a little harder. For some reason I keep triggering protect, even though he has damage reduction. And like I said, just a brain fart there. Luckily I had indestructible invulnerability boost on to absorb a few of those hits, but as you can see, that SB2 did some pretty good damage there. So now he has 10 hatred, so now he can get unstoppable, unblockable, but that's the reason why I brought Claire, because she has pretty easy access to nullify. So that was the thought process of using her versus Magic, because there is a point where he does come unstoppable, and Magic, nothing I can do about it. At least with Claire, I can just nullify it right away. And so we try to do a little dash back intercept there. We'll try to see if we can restart it here. There we go. Gotta love when they play ball. All right, so that fight wasn't too bad. There, unfortunately, couldn't duel Mangog. So Kabam needs to get back to where they're allowing you to duel champs. Some of them, most of them they have, but some of them, especially the newer ones, certain older ones, for some reason, you can't just type their name and they just be there. So anyway, next fight here, we got Nova. So we got the intercept out the way there. Now we're just going to try to, because usually when I get once he gets over bar of power, I'm just trying to bait his heavy. I have to kind of treat him like Hyperion in a way, even though he doesn't have a power gain buff for just anytime he dashes at you, he's gaining power. So once he's above 1 bar of power, I'm just trying to bait obviously trying to bait the SP1 preferably. I just don't want to be in a situation where he's being very passive with his special attack, and then he just keeps dashing in and out until he's at an SP3. So it's just safer to just go ahead and start baiting that heavy from that special by the time he gets to 1 bar of power. And it's kind of the same way with Hyperion as well. When you fight with him, even though Hyperion, he's more apt to throw his SP1 pretty often. And this SP2, there's a certain distance you have to be for him to just throw that willy-nilly as well. So now we're just trying to get an intercept in here. There we go. And let's steal some of that life. That's the last part of that SP2. Don't ask me how. Anyway. All right. I believe, yeah, we get one more energy in there before we go to bed. All right, we're going to use Claire on Annihilus here. Yeah, we just wanted to see if we still had that residual 6-hour boost, and we are. All right, dash back light counter. Yeah, we pushing the 2 bars of power by mistake there. Then we had to bait this SB2. Like I said, it's all you got to do. Just dash back like counter combo. Now the next war video you're gonna see, kind of forget that concept in a way, and then I dash back too early there. Overall, he's not too scary. I mean, he's not as scary as he used to be. Obviously, if you're relying on parry attacking him, it can still be an issue. So that's the reason why you have to have more diverse attack in your arsenal, or learn tactics against certain champs. So once you learn this dash back light counter tactic, it makes a lot of annoying defenders much easier to fight, such as Killmonger, Domino, Annihilus. You have to be a little bit more precise against Apocalypse, Jabari Panther, Venom, Sabretooth, OG Hope, any of the Ultrons or Iron Man, even though they're not really difficult defenders, but I'm just telling you those are other defenders that have that long-reaching medium. Tiger is definitely another one. Namor. Just there might be some newer champs that just came out. I mentioned Jabari Panther. That was the first thing I noticed when I fought Jabari Panther, that she had that elongated medium attack. Yes, that's just little things just have to look for. It'll make fighting champs that are either sometimes difficult to parry or fight in general easier to fight. Stealth Suit Spidey. Just think of some others. Yeah, there's a few others out there. About Hyperion is another one as well. That diving haymaker that he does. But anyway, this is the next morning now. So this war, like I said, it's still pretty evenly matched. It can go either way. I think we had a slight lead going into this morning, but the opponent had progressed further in our defense. So we still had some work to do on our end. Now this Terrax fight. Now when he starts the fight in his rock field, he becomes more aggressive. So it's pretty easy to bait his heavy attack and just punish counter. So you'll see me constantly do that. So when he's dashing at me, I'll just stand at a certain distance. He'll just throw his heavy attack. It works every time. And then after that, I can go back in and fight as normal. And I can use those armor breaks I accumulated during this rock field to heal myself, to offset the rock field damage I took while he was in his rock field stage. There we go. Yeah, so it's definitely a fight that we've gotten used to fighting now. We've just seen him twice this season on this node. Last time he had suicide, so obviously the fight was nowhere near as long as this one. And we just wanted to make sure we threw his heavy attack and we push him back and we heal. Now I think we're gonna change power mode, so we're just gonna keep it in the bleed phase here. Just gonna get him back in the corner. This is another guy you don't want to get cornered against, of course. Wasn't ready to punish his heavy attack then. I was still in defense mode. Because otherwise I would have went in too late and he probably could have parried me. And again, it's another fight that obviously you can't rely on parry on this node, so you just have to bait heavies, intercept, heavy counter, hit into the block to induce heavy. Yeah, see, a lot of these fights don't really rely on parry unless they give you a benefit to do so. All right, so as you can see there, we're up by 1. But they are finished. I believe we have a diversity edge. I mean, because they did have quite a few. They had 4 corks, 3 apocalypse, 2 things, and a partridge and a pear tree on defense. So they had hardly no diversity. So we had a cushion there, but just didn't know how much diversity edge we had. So if we were to lose the attack bonus edge, how much of a cushion would we really have from a diversity standpoint to still overcome the deficit? So we're going to find out in short order after this fight. So the war is clearly imbalanced. So this is one of the times that I'm actually going to boost while fighting as magic. And we're even going to use a special attack boost, which of course I'm probably going to trigger stubborn every time. Not stubborn. Going to trigger protect every time I throw my SP2 pretty much at this point. But it's mainly for that SP3 when I'm nullifying all of his buffs to have that damage higher. And we're not using our Mystic Power Boost because the SP3 gives me enough power in itself when I nullify the buffs. So don't want that to combine with my Mystic Dispersion and push me over 3 bars of power. All right, so we're trying to not have him throw one more special there. And now he's power locked. And we can go to town. I believe we do make a mistake in this fight, but yeah, it's kind of hard to, have too many things go bad when you're fighting with magic with this play style. Sometimes Limbo will save you if you do get punished. If you're close to a bar of power when he punishes you. So you got a lot of protection here fighting with magic. As long as if you get hit in the process of being aggressive, you can get rewarded sometimes with the Limbo recovery. course, it's not going to trigger every time. All right, so I believe this is the last SB2 we throw before we throw our SB3. Or not. Yeah, I think we definitely throw it now. Not sure why I didn't throw it then. And now we're getting punished. All right, let's go ahead and throw the SP3 here. Nullify the Furies. Not the Furies, nullify all the buffs. And you see it took a good clap of damage there. And we're back up to over 2 bars of power. Gonna throw our SP2 once again. We're in limbo, so we're gonna take some block damage there intentionally. Hopefully the beta heavy. That's what I was trying to do. And now we're back to our cycle. He just kind of walked into that one. Yep, but that was the one time that we got punished there. And he walked into that one again. I think we're just going to finish this off without throwing another SP3. I think the SP2 is going to kill him here. We get hit once more. There we go. Yeah, it's a little sloppiness at the end. But another magic one-shot of Apocalypse. But again, we lost this war by 30 points, man. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy. And as usual, please like, share, and subscribe.